hosted a grand welcome dinner for Phoebe. At night, fireworks lit up the entire city, almost painting half the sky red. Next, a swarm of drones rose, forming a giant heart and the words, "Phoebe, welcome back," in the sky. I thought, what a grand scene. For Phoebe, Caleb really spared no expense or effort. I quietly looked away, and turned to the small, lonely birthday cake on the table. I bought it, with a single 25 numeral candle on top. I picked up a spoon, scooped a small piece, and put it in my mouth. It tasted so sweet, overly sweet, so much that it left a bitter feeling in my heart. The system said, "Host." Its voice sounded somewhat weak. I swallowed the bite of cake and stood up. I said, "It's fine, I'm used to it." I didn't want Caleb to feel I was in the way, so I quickly started packing. Luckily, I don't have much stuff. In this house, I've always felt like a temporary guest, afraid to leave too many traces of myself. I didn't take anything Caleb bought for me, only packed a few old clothes I brought, and some small items. By the time I was almost done packing, the clock on the wall had passed midnight. My 25th birthday had passed. Almost at the same moment, an indescribable weakness suddenly overwhelmed me. My legs gave out, and I collapsed onto the cold floor. Immediately after, a crushing pain erupted throughout my bones, as if they were being shattered. The system's purge mechanism began. It's a rare genetic collapse syndrome, lasting 3 days, with the pain intensifying each day until I finally succumb in utter agony. I clenched my teeth, trying to prop myself up, but it was useless. The pain engulfed me like a tide, and my vision began to blur. At that moment, the sound of a key turning came from the door. The next second, the door opened. Phoebe walked in, arm in arm with Caleb, smiling. Seeing me slumped on the ground, they both rose for a moment. Phoebe slightly raised her eyebrows, her tone tinged with curiosity. She asked, "Caleb, who is this?" Caleb's smile instantly vanished, replaced by undisguised disgust and irritation. He frowned deeply, his voice as cold as ice. Caleb asked, "Isabella, why are you still here? Didn't I tell you to pack up and leave immediately?" Before I could say anything, he immediately turned to Phoebe. The coldness on his face melted instantly, and his tone became very gentle. Caleb said, "It's nothing. She's just an ignorant servant. I'll have her leave right now." Servant. My heart felt like it was pierced by a knife, numbing even the pain in my body for a moment. I opened my mouth, wanting to explain that I didn't stay on purpose, but the intense pain only let me make broken sounds. Seeing me like this, Caleb seemed a bit puzzled. He asked, "What's wrong with you? Are you sick?" Maybe because I had never been this miserable, Caleb looked at me with a hint of pity in his eyes. He instinctively took half a step toward me, but the next second, Phoebe's sudden words interrupted his movement. She said, "Are you feeling unwell and want to stay here to rest?" "Caleb, she's feeling so awful. How can you kick her out?" Just 2 sentences made Caleb change his mind, thinking all this was just an act for me to stay here. He stepped back to his original spot, slowly revealing a mocking cold smile. Caleb said, "I really underestimated you. Are you acting in front of me? Who are you pretending to be pitiful for? You think this will make me soften and let you stay? Isabella, don't overestimate yourself. I'll count to 3 and you leave willingly. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude." The intense pain left me unable to argue, not even having the strength to shake my head, only gasping in agony. My silence and misery seemed to anger Caleb even more. He completely lost his patience and directly took out his phone to call his driver. Caleb said, "Come up here and clear out the trash in the guest room along with the person refusing to leave." Soon, his driver came up. He glanced at me and said, "Sorry, Miss Ferguson." Then, he propped up my nearly immobile body with one hand, grabbed my shabby-looking suitcase with the other, and almost dragged me out the door. The suitcase landed by my feet. The door behind me slammed shut, cutting off the bright lights inside and the faint laughter of Caleb and Phoebe. I took one last look at the place I once called home. Then, I humbly dragged my suitcase, limping into the dark night.